Good morning, everyone. So good to have you. Welcome back. I want to talk about the last who will be first. One day, James and John walked up to Jesus and said, Jesus, can you put us at your side, one on the right and the other on the left, when you're in glory? What they really wanted and what they really were asking of Jesus was to give them the seats of honor, the places of importance. They wanted spotlight upon themselves. But Jesus looked at them and answered, to sit at my right or left is not for me to grant. These places belong to those for whom they have been prepared. Mark 10:41 through 45 continues and says, when the 10 heard about this, that's 10 disciples, they became indignant with James and John. Jesus called them together and said, you know that those who are regarded as rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them. And he looked at them and said, not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant. And whoever wants to be first must be slave of all. For even the Son of Man, referring to himself, did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Basically, James and John came to Jesus and asked for a promotion. They wanted the best seats. They wanted to be in charge, a place of importance. And it's almost laughable because, Mark 10 takes place right before Jesus' crucifixion, which means John and James have been learning from Jesus, listening to him, seeing him serve for nearly 3 years. And they're still asking for things like this. But if we're honest, we get it, right? Who doesn't want to be noticed? Who doesn't want to matter? Who doesn't want to be the one everyone looks to? So Jesus doesn't scold them. He just turns the whole thing upside down. He calls the disciples together and says, whoever wants to be great among you must be your servant. Jesus says the greatest in his kingdom is not the boss, not the dude with the corner office, not the star, not the celebrity, but the greatest is the servant. That is so against the way the world works. Out there, you climb, you hustle, you collect as much toy as you can, more influence, more likes, more respect. And if you're not climbing, you feel like you're falling behind. But Jesus isn't building a brand. He's not building a IT company. He's building a kingdom. And he says in his kingdom, the ladders run backward. In his kingdom, if you want to go up, you must go down. Now, this is not fake humility. It's not pretend you're small so people think you're humble. That's not what this is. It's real. It's taking the lower spot, not because you're worthless, but because you found something better than pride. You found joy in pouring out. You found joy in giving. And you certainly found joy in serving. Because serving kills ego. And when ego dies, guess what? Peace grows. When ego dies, joy grows. And when ego dies, freedom grows. You stop measuring your value by what you have or what you drive or where you live and who you hang out with. And you start finding value in the people you're willing to serve and kneel beside. Jesus says, even the Son of Man didn't come to be served, but to serve. And to give his life as a ransom for many. That's the pattern. That's the rhythm of life that Jesus gave us. It's the blueprint. And that's the call. And let's be honest, everything in us pushes back against it, doesn't it? It cuts against the current. The world tells us greatness is up there, higher, shinier, brighter. The one on top is the winner. So people scramble, claw their way, sprint up the ladder, whole lives swallowed up by the race. And as someone joked, even if you win that rat race, you're still a rat. So what does that mean? Should you stop working hard, quit your job, Forget about becoming a leader or even a CEO. Of course not. That's not what this is about. Scripture tells us to aim, Scripture doesn't tell us to aim low or be lazy. It tells us to be excellent where God has placed us. But here's the catch. Don't crush people on the way. Don't build yourself up by pushing others down. Instead, serve. Jesus said it plainly. If you want to be great, serve. You want to lead, learn to serve. You want to climb, then start at the bottom. There's something sacred about washing dishes and stacking chairs and sweeping up after everyone leaves. The stuff no one wants to do and the stuff nobody claps for. It's not about earning points. It's about killing that part of you that craves the spotlight, that part of us that wants to stand in front of Jesus, and instead of pointing to him, you point to yourself. Because when you step down, you see him clearer. But we don't want that. But if you step down, what you're going to find is that Jesus is already there in the ordinary. Mark 10:31, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. That's not just a memory verse, it's freedom. The freedom to quit climbing and finally rest in the one who matters. And I hope you find him today as you serve. My friends, God bless you and have an amazing day. And I'll see you in a few days. And if you haven't clicked like button, please help us to do that and share so others can find us and be blessed. And I want to thank some of you for letting me know how this is blessing you. And subscribe if you want these videos right away. Again, I'll see you in a couple of days.